Welcome to Sharpshooting with Shuan Ellis, where the ball never stops bouncing. We're talking hoops, hustle, and everything in between, breaking down the games on the court as they happen. We could jump right into our segment, our Live at 7 segment. But actually, before we get to that, we are in week two. Everybody has played at least one game already, and there are quite the impressions that have been made on the league already. We got some new faces, some old faces that are coming back. So it's great to see some guys back that have been away for a while. And it's added quite the paradox, I would say, for the season so far. But let's just kind of get to the game. First things first, we got Knicks versus Squad One. Squad One won this game 91-74 in their return, actually, to dominance and grace. Squad One shot 48% from the field. Old friend Javon McCormick. Somebody asked me a while back, if Javon still plays and, what type of player he is. Well, guys, he's back. He had 23, 11, and 6. Had a pretty outstanding game. Looked really, really good. Followed by his partner, Nate. Put up a big game. Had 38. Had a game high 38 points and made 5 threes with 15 rebounds. It's tough. For we got next, Joe Pillow. He had 20 points, but he had it on a tough 8 for 24 shooting game. But on a more consistent game, we had Aiden Purdue. Aiden he struggled last week in his debut with the league, but he came back this week and really had a really, really good game. Ended up with 19 points. Showed off a lot of athleticism. Had like 4 or 5 dunks. And really, I guess any of those jitters he may have had in week one, definitely got out of those. But it's more than anything else, return to Squad One. They've heard about light work winning 2 championships. Squad One has the all-time record for 5 championships overall. Light work has 3, going on for their record. Hopefully their record 3rd straight championship. So we'll see what happens with that. But Squad One is back. And speaking of light work, they actually went down this week. They played Hollywood. Last 2 times they played Hollywood in the regular season, they've lost both times, and both times it was an overtime game, and both times they lost by 1. So it was 51-50 last time. This time it was 72-71 in another great defensive matchup. AD actually had a tip in at the buzzer, sending the game into overtime. There are things about this game where I think both teams were a little disjointed. Both teams have some new pieces, and they're trying to get added to their teams, and they're really trying to figure their teams out. This game came down to matchups, and it really came down to the Ace versus Scooter matchup, and then the big man matchup with Rob and our guy Nikita. Those were 2 matchups that I feel like pretty much set the tone for the game and, made up the winner or loser. And I can say in both these cases, Hollywood won both matchups. I think the Scooter in the Ace matchup definitely went to Scooter. And on the stat sheet, it's going to look like obviously Nikita won the matchup. But Rob's not looked to be a primary scorer on this team. He's really looked for their defense and rebound, his energy. And so I actually think he actually defended Nikita pretty well throughout the game. But Nikita did end up with 20, with another 20-10 game. So I think going forward, those are the 2 matchups. If these guys have to meet each other again, will probably determine who wins this game. But in this case, Hollywood one got the better of this matchup, and they was able to eke out a very, very good victory, 72-71. Going into our next matchup, we had Cellulose and B&O. Dylan's had high-scoring games against B&O every time he's played them. Okay, and he, again, had another 39-point game. And they started off absolutely kicking tail, starting off. They look really good. I'm just like, oh, this is a different B&O team. They're going to probably, win by 6-7 games this season and really make a push. But then Cellulose turned up, and when they turned up, second half came around, they turned up. Jay Drew took his game to another level. Rich stepped his game up, and then it just kind of went from there. Like I said, Dylan had a game high of 39 points on 37 shots, though. Woo. He went 15 for 37, but he made 7 threes again. And then Big Gabe, he chipped in with 18 points of his own in a pretty efficient game, going 9 to 13 from the field. But Twin, I think I think he went 2 for 17 from the field. I think if his shots get a little bit better and he gets a little bit close to the 40, 45, 50% range, I think they'll be fine. But all that being said, it came down to Jay Drew. And Jay Drew poured in 48 points and looked amazing. But that's not to take away from the fact that Josh, again, with a big game, 16 points and 20 rebounds. So he looked amazing as well. So this is kind of picking up where they went undefeated during the regular season last season. So again, their regular season record is still intact as far as the regular season goes. They're not losing regular season games. We know what their issue has been in the playoffs or in the finals per se. So hopefully they can carry this over into the championship game again. But yeah, Jay Drew, again, our last season's MVP, looking like the MVP with season high of 48 points for the whole season. Now going into our last game of the night. And probably maybe the second best game of the night, maybe. We had the Crunch All-Stars versus Chances. And Chances was able to pull away at the end, 78-67. It's actually a much closer game than that. But again, it was pretty, like I said, wire-to-wire efficiency from both teams, but especially Chances. Chances shot 55% from the field, man. It's going to be hard to beat them when they shoot that well. And they did it, majority of their work is inside the three-point line, but they're very capable of making shots outside the free throw line. And they went 27-44 from two. It's a big deal. That's a big deal. If you shoot that efficient from two, you're going to give yourself a chance to win any game. So, they shot really well from two. Crunch, look, they're scrappy, man. And I like a lot of that goes to like Jordan Hart, but they had like 17 offensive rebounds. 17 offensive rebounds and had 10 steals. But unfortunately, we're still not able to kind of get this. They're shot making right now. Like Steve's had Jordan. He had a big game as far as he had 25 points, but he shot 10 to 31 shooting. Again, if he gets that close to that 50% range as far as shooting, especially when you take that many shots, it's a different game. It really, really is. And they're shot making right now. They play a great brand of basketball. They play as good a basketball as anybody in the league, if not the best brand of basketball in the league. But they were not able to just make shots, and I think that's where actually their problems have come so far. Like I said, Steve's went 2 of 14 from three. If he goes 5 of 14, completely different game. 5 of 14. That's not even just a great percentage either. But again, it's not 2 of 14 from three. Braylon added 17 points. He hit 3 triples. And then, like I said, we had guys like Andrew Bach and a few other guys for Chances that kind of poured in, did their thing. And look, right now, Chances had a tough matchup in the first week. They're 1-1 now. Crunch has had 2 very good matchups the first 2 weeks, and now down 0-2, and their schedule is not going to get any easier. So where they're going to pick up that win, I don't know. But hopefully, like I said, they've done this before where they started slow and then finished fast. And they've been on the other end of that too, where they've started fast and finished very slow on downtrend. So they're kind of streaky one way or the other. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, usually when they win a game, they win multiple games. Usually when they lose games, they lose multiple games. So we'll see what happens with them. All right, now getting into our players of the week. Now, week 1, we had Hip Hop and Roll, Roosevelt Smart, or as we like to call him, Rose. Monster game, 31 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. And like I said, with Josh, also with that 16 points, 20 rebounds, and 4 blocks in week 1. Monster game from Josh. So those are our nominees for Player of the Week, guys. Go make sure you vote. Also, our week 2 Players of the Week, we got Jay Drew. I just talked about his week 2 performance. He had 48 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. We had our big man, Nate. From Chances, he had 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Javon in his return, Javon McCormick from Squad 1, he had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Big games from all 3 of those guys. Well, I guess 5 nominees. But again, like I said, we have our week 1 Player of the Week, guys. Go make sure you vote. And we have our week 2 Player of the Week as well. So yes, again, those are our nominees. Now, you guys' favorite subject, you have our picks for the week. Okay, it's not gonna be easy, man. I know we have our first game, our 7 o'clock game. We got Next versus Hip Hop and Roll. I'm gonna actually pick Hip Hop and Roll here, 92-88. Look, Hip Hop and Roll looked pretty good that first week, and like I said, when they have their whole cast of characters, when they got their bigs, they have their guards going. Rose looking like Rose. They got Cam out there. Drew I mean, Drew is sneaky good, man. And I mean, like, not even sneaky good. The point is, Drew puts up 20 and you don't realize he has 20 points. So I think with all that mix of all that going on, and we got Knicks is starting to kind of finally put it together. They just haven't put a whole full quarter game together. And they just can't get down on themselves. When stuff starts happening, they tend to get down on themselves. They had a 17-5 lead against Squad 1 last week. And then basically Squad 1 made a 22-3 run after that in the game. They never looked back. And so you just can't put yourself in the position to where you know, something bad happens and then you put your head down, you start playing defense hard, and then all of a sudden that lead you got goes away. So that's why, and with hip hop and roll, I don't think I have to worry about that. So I'm going hip hop and roll here, 92-88. Now, we have our next game. We have the Crunch All-Stars versus Squad 1. I think it'll be an interesting game because I think Marcus Hall actually has taken a couple losses to the Crunch All-Stars. Now, granted, he wasn't on Squad 1 when he took those losses to the Crunch All-Stars, but he did take, I want to say his last time playing, he took 2 losses to the Crunch All-Stars, actually eliminated him from the playoffs when he was playing with Who's Your Daddy. So now I think about him and E.T., him and Elston. So this is, I put it like this, Crunch ain't scared of them, those two at least. But again, they have not played them as Squad 1 though. Now with Squad 1, this is a different squad. I'm still going to pick Squad 1 to go 88-83. Like I said, Crunches, they usually lose in tandem. They usually win in tandem. I'm not sure if they're ready to kind of flip that switch yet where they're winning. So I'm going to go ahead and go Squad 1 here, 88-83. Too many pros. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Now, like I said, if Crunch is making shots, it could be different. But, like I said, Crunch plays great basketball, but it really comes down to their shot making. When they're making shots, I mean, they're a tough team to beat. It's going to be tough for anybody. Now, our third game of the night, I'm thinking this may be the game of the night. We got Cellulose versus Hollywood. Cellulose actually beat Hollywood, I think, I want to say by 1 point in overtime last season. No, that wasn't them. They did beat Hollywood, though. They did beat Hollywood. I remember because they played all those teams back to back to back. But yeah, Cellulose, I'm going to go ahead and pick them again, 89-88 in a tough game. Jay Drew playing at a very high level. He's the MVP, and I think he has no reason to believe that he won't be the MVP again as of right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go Cellulose, 89-88. Now, again, it really come down to Scooter, Nikita, and some of those. Now I forgot to mention, we got a newcomer as well. We got Q as a newcomer on Hollywood, Marquise. He made a huge difference. So you get that point guard play, again, another ex-pro. You get that point guard play. It's gonna be a tough game, man. I almost want to pick Hollywood here. I really almost want to pick Hollywood here. I'm gonna go ahead and give Sailors the benefit of the doubt though, and go ahead and pick them by one. Okay, it's gonna be close, but I'm going to go ahead and pick them by 1. And the last game of the night, we got Lightwork versus B&O. I'm gonna go ahead and go with I'm going with Lightwork, man. I will make it kind of dramatic, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Lightwork. Until B&O shows me they can put a full quarter game together, it's going to be hard for me to pick them. But B&O is improved. B&O got a lot of talent, and they got guys who put the ball in the hole. It's really them playing together defensive stops for 4 quarters. Will they be able to do that? We shall see. But I'm going to go ahead and go Lightwork. And Lightwork's coming off. They got bad taste in their mouth right now because they took a L last week. So I'm definitely going to go with Lightwork here, kind of avenge himself. Maybe we get Alex to kind of suit up for the first game of the season. We shall see. And, oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going Lightwork there. So, yes, that will be going up this week. Some very interesting games. A lot of games that can go either way. I actually see a lot of these games being, in the single digits as far as like 1 possession games. I can see a strong possibility for that. So we shall see. But again, I think we'll have another great week of basketball. But live from an undisclosed location, I'm Sean Ellis. We are out.